Hi everyone and welcome to another Kollectormaniac video. Now before I get started, just like to remind anyone, if you haven't already seen last week's video, please check out either the card at the end or just look at my channel and go to videos. And again, I'd like to remind you, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And of course, remember to like and put your comments below. Now this week we have a piece which, from a film I feel is a little bit underappreciated. And this piece is based off Mama. So this is of course by the one and only onescustoms. Now I believe there is only one other of these pieces out there. However, that's kind of in a private collection. You're unlikely to see it. And this one has an additional extra which we will get to during the course of the video. Now I do have a COA of this, but unfortunately I didn't dig it out for the video. But I purchased this directly from onescustoms in around August 2016. Now, one of the incredible things about this piece is that everything is completely custom, from the dress to the kind of underskirt, the body, the head sculpt, the hands. There's no molds or anything for this. This all from scratch. Now, the dress itself, I would say, is based off the movie poster, which you'll see on your screen here. Throughout the film, Mama changes the dress she's wearing almost at will. One minute she's almost wearing a nightgown, the next minute she's wearing, you know, kind of an ultra long dress like this. But I believe there's another scene in which she's wearing this, which I'll flash up briefly. May or may not agree with me. Now, the beautiful thing about this dress is it's obviously been weathered incredibly well. It's not, you know, there's not tons of rips and tears in it. There's obviously various different stainings and colors, but it's these beautiful butterflies that one has obviously handmade and glued on painstakingly. In the 4 years that I've owned the piece, none of these have ever came off or shown any signs of it, which I can only commend one for this. And again, anyone who's watched the film will understand the significance of the butterflies here. As I said, the body of Mama is completely custom. You can see the arms here have just been obviously had various sculpting and effects applied to them, done incredibly well. These hands are incredibly special. They look very much like they do out in the film. They've got the kind of these long, elongated index fingers, the nails, again, completely custom made. One did an incredible job on these, as well as the upper torso and the chest. You can see the sculpting effects. The color, again, the color is very difficult to really grasp in the film because there are a number of different kind of filters that have been used throughout. But again, I think one's made a very kind of accurate attempt here. And in case you're wondering, in terms of how Mama is standing upright, I'm not going to reveal that because it kind of ruins a little bit of the magic of this piece. But again, it's an inventive way that one's been able to achieve this, and you certainly can't see how this is done throughout the skirt. As I said, there is an underskirt, but I'm not going to show that. So for me, the body and the tailoring of this piece are impeccable. As I said, these are completely one-of-a-kind pieces. There's no molding or anything that's taken place here. This is all freehand by onescustoms. The joints move exactly however you like them, to be honest with you, which was a very prominent feature of the film, the way Mama moved. So yeah, I can only commend one on an excellent job here. This next accessory is what makes this a unique set, in the fact that the only other Mama piece by onescustoms out there doesn't have this. And anyone who's seen the film will remember the tragic moment when Mama is given the bones of the baby that effectively she jumped off the cliff with. So this represents a very poignant moment in the film, in the fact that you think, just like a lot of other films, that the story is going to wrap up nicely, Mama's going to go off in peace, but oh no. Again, if you haven't seen the film, please do so. It's great. It was actually written by Barbara and Andy Muschietti, along with Andy Muschietti directing, and some of you may well recognize that name, as Andy is the director of It Chapter 1 and 2. When comparing the skeletal baby to the film, I'd say one's done a very good job. The shroud that the baby is wrapped in is there. The skull looks very similar to what's on screen, and again, it's a really nice accessory and kind of sets this apart and makes this a complete piece, in my opinion. Now, last but never least, we come on to the head sculpt of Mama, and as you can see, she is a beauty. Now, what I really like about this head sculpt, first and foremost, is the fact that this kind of rotting, kind of yellow, browny, sort of pale skin element has been continued on from the body. Now this is a ball jointed head, of course, so you can move this in whichever direction or angle you like. But when you compare this to the film, I think one has nailed the expression dead on. First and foremost, those kind of pale eyes. Now there is almost this kind of very pale grey / bluey tone to them, which is present in the film, as you can see. He's almost got these kind of almost swollen, it's like red eyelids underneath the eyeballs, which again I think is a nice touch. When you look at the actual shape of the head, it is misshapen, just like in the film where it's just so gaunt and evident. And I really like this expression he's got with the eyes and this kind of sideways look. It's very different to any of the other head sculpts I own for many other characters who tend to be looking straight forward. So it's really, really nice. And again, when you look at the mouth and the way she kind of has got her bottom row teeth flicked out, very reminiscent of a lot of scenes in the films. I'm doing my best to kind of try and find decent screenshots for you from the films, but unfortunately a lot of the scenes where you get a really good look at Mama are obviously quite dark because they tend to come towards the end of the film. Now, one of the things that I feel Mama did very well, and certainly the visual effects design and almost creative vision, is that they almost made Mama's hair this living entity where it had a life of its own. It could be straight one minute, it could be to the side, you'd have various elements moving up or down. And when you look at One's Customs as used to the hair, it's similar, probably a little bit better quality than what you have like troll hair, for instance, in the fact that you can style this into any position you want, which again is the only real way I think you could do this character justice. And I can see why a lot of artists haven't even attempted it, because yeah, how else would you do this hair? You can't just have almost static strips of hair. That's the thing I really like, and the fact that I can position this hair how I like. You'll see at the end of the video I positioned it a completely different way. You can just mix a look up, and I think when you look at the various moments throughout the film, I'm able to achieve the majority of this with the way One has decided to almost style and use this hair in the way he has done. So overall, I think when looking at references to the film, I think One has done an incredible job on this head sculpt and also tackling the difficult challenge of the hair in itself. So great job, Ones. And before I round up, I just want to remind everyone to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. Now, when approaching this video, I looked at what's out there in terms of female horror characters, and there's not an awful lot. In all honesty, I don't feel they get enough appreciation. I mean, you've got iconic characters such as Samara from The Ring. You've obviously got the Nun, which, yeah, is in the form of a female, but effectively is a demon. And I just don't feel they get the appreciation that they deserve. There's an awful lot of cool female horror characters out there, and a lot of generic male-based characters. Again, this isn't some kind of deep dive into, male versus female horror characters. It was just something I noticed. Overall, I think this piece screams quality, and I can understand why One's Customs struggle to part with it. Again, I thank you very much, brother, for parting with this, and it's been looked after in the 4 years I've had it, and I look forward to many more years to come. I feel the piece perfectly represents the character Mama in the film in a way I don't think many other artists could do, in all honesty. So let me know what you all think in the comments. Do you agree with me when it comes to female horror characters? How do you feel this representation lined up with the film? Let me know what you think, guys. And to get a shout out in next week's video, just put #Mama in the comments below. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this Kollectormaniac video. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.